Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's
Simply amazing.
I sit in awe and I get kind of some of those
I know.
goosebumps when I hear it.
Our next guest is a nationally recognized motivational speaker, world touring entertainer, and an actor.
He has appeared in ABC's Lost, CBS Hawaii Five-0, and the Universal Studios movie Battleship.
Plus, he's a former sergeant in the U.S. Air Force and an Afghanistan war veteran, and he has a new book out. Oh my goodness.
Well, it goes on and on.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
What a hoot.
Oh, your new book, Passion, 8 Steps to Find Yours.
Right. We wrote this book in response to the research that says the American public only has about 11% to 20% of the American population has passion for what they do. So my co-author and business manager, Jared Bai, and I said, we've got to right that wrong. So we wrote this book, wrote it in 8 simple steps that anybody can follow. Whether you're a 7th grader trying to find out what you want to do in life or you're a 70-year-old trying to reinvent yourself as a retiree, we think it's going to help a lot of people.
Why do you think people haven't found their passion, or why such a small number have?
You know, I think really what happens is just the velocity of life takes over. You know, maybe you went off to college and got a job, and then you got a mortgage, and then you got all these responsibilities in life. And I think just we forget that the main goal is to find the things that you love. You know, instead we get busy making a living. And I think our society is well set up to help us find a job. But I don't necessarily think it's set up to help us find our passion.
You're right, right. Because even in school, young kids are taught, you know, find something you want to do, find a career, but it's not always the right one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people too, they're told, oh, you're good at this, you know, you should go into this, and they kind of just let it be, and they don't even, you know, try to find and stretch out to other areas.
Right, and I think it's really a result of the fact that sometimes when we get into maybe our mid-20s, early 30s, maybe 40 years old, and we just forget to start trying new things. We forget to expand our horizons. And so we talk a lot about that and the path that I've taken over the past 15 years, getting out there and having new adventures.
So let's start with, what do you think is one of the most important tips that you can give our audience for finding their passion?
Well, step number 5, I'll give you a little teaser here. Step number 5 is don't stop until you find your passion. And when I speak about this book all over the country, I talk to maybe a 50-year-old in the audience, and I ask them, of your peer group, you know, the 45, 50, 55-year-old folks, how many of those people have stopped searching for their passion? And they always say, man, all of them. Everybody, you know, years ago we've stopped looking for that. We've just settled for what is in life. So that's step number 5, don't stop until you find your passion. And then we get right into it with step number 6, lean in to your passion. If you've found it, you know, you're part of the 11 to 20% of the American population that's found your passion. You might as well hit the gas.
Well, and I think for some people too, it can be frustrating. They might think like, oh, well, I've tried this and this and this. Maybe I'm not that passionate of a person, but you can be.
Absolutely. A lot of folks come up to me after my keynotes or my breakout sessions about this book, and they say, you know, I don't have an idea of what my passion is. I don't know the things that I love. You know, so we started out very simply. It might sound a little basic, but step number 1 is just try a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
You know, because think about it. When your peers or our friends couldn't possibly look me in the eye and say, you know what, on a daily, a weekly, and a monthly basis, I'm constantly out there trying new things. I'm out there having new adventures. I'm pushing myself to the edge of my comfort zone. No, because people just, they forget. They forget that one of the most important things to do is just expand your horizons. Try new things, you know, have a new adventure. And so that's where we start, especially with the young people, letting them know that there's just a whole big world out there. And you just got to try a lot of it and see what you like.
Yeah. Okay, Mark J. Lindquist, much more on finding your passion and his book when we come back.